All right. Well, hello, and welcome everyone to our BG5 Live. Great to be back from vacation on Myrtle Beach and got to visit Tuck and had a really great time. So today we're going to take a look at trait 59. And trait 59 is about achieving union. And we're going to take a look at quality 4. Quality 4 is about brotherhood and sisterhood. So today we're going to be taking a look at achieving union as brothers and sisters. So this is August 25th, 2020, and this is episode number 67. So of course, before we get started, let's say hello to our panel. So let's start with Chris. Hey, Chris, welcome.
Hi. Hey, everyone. Welcome. So glad you're able to join us today.
Yeah, great to have you, Chris. And Natalie.
Yeah, I'm so happy to be here with my brother and sisters.
Thank you, Natalie. And Tuck.
It's taken everything I have not to sing "Come On People Now, Smile on Your Brother." Everybody get together. So hello.
Sing it, Tuck.
Yeah, exactly. That'd be so good.
Love it. And Leanne, welcome.
Thanks, Karen. Good to be here. Hello, friends.
Great to have you here. And Rob.
Brothers and sisters, hello. Woo!
Love it, love it, love it. Well, great to have all of you, and it's so amazing just to have such a big panel as well. So we're going to have a lot of fun today. So before we jump in and get started, I wanted to give everyone a heads up because tomorrow Tuck is going to be delivering a webinar. It's 5 ways to access your greatest gifts in this time of transition. We're going to talk a little bit about this time of transition today as well. So that's happening tomorrow at 10 a.m. Pacific. It's going to be online. I've given you a link there. I don't know if any of you can copy it and put it in the chat as well. This is also where you'll find the replay as well once it's finished if you can't attend live. So I just wanted to take just a couple of moments here and have Tuck tell us a little bit about what she's going to be talking about tomorrow. So Tuck.
Okay, I'm gonna say, look at those teeth. Here's it. I'll start by saying I'm in love with BG5. I'm in love with this methodology. It has been life-changing for me and for many of the people around me. One of the reasons I make up that I may not appear calm right now, but for the most part, I'm very calm in life. One of the reasons that I'm able to be calm and open and available right now is because of this incredible methodology and information that's in the BG5 world. What we will be talking about tomorrow are 2 things, really. Number 1 is how individuals can access the 5 ways to access their greatest gifts. I call it tapping into your human potential in a way that will allow you to do what it is that you love what it is that you do, in a way that you can plurk. That's my new word for today, plurking, Plurking. It's the act of playing while you work. So these 5 ways of accessing your greatest gift are going to give you the information in order to do that in a glorious and fabulous way. But number 2, we're in a incredible time of change right now. And the fact to me that the originator of human design, the originator of this system, foretold or has spoken of these times, it seems crazy not to grab this information, embrace it, embody it, live it, in order to each of us to be our own individual greatest self, doing what we love, doing what our natural gifts inspire. And I say to prosper, that means have money, live bounteously, doing what we love and in a very simple way. So that's the energy that's coming tomorrow. It's a beautiful opportunity to get the basic information of what this system and methodology is about. And it's going to be you and me, so why wouldn't you come?
Woohoo!
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. And I love our new word for today too. Was it plurking, right? Playing while you work. I love it. Beautiful. Well, thank you, Tuck. I really look forward to it tomorrow. And again, invite all of you to join us. So join us there tomorrow. All right, so let's jump in to today. So again, we are continuing our journey through duality, through bonding with others and connection. And there is no other trait that really represents this bonding and connection with others than what we're going to take a look at today in the 59. So we did take a look at leadership in the 7. We took a look at formalization in the 4. We took a look at perseverance. So they all persevered last week without me there, saying yes to the collective experience. And now in these last 2 traits, we're going to take a look at 2 traits that are connected to emotional intelligence, and not only connected to emotional intelligence, but connected to emotional intelligence through another motor. So they're very powerful. So this week we're going to be taking a look at achieving union. So again, it plays right into what we're talking about with bonding and connecting with others, right? Brotherhood, sisterhood that we're going to take a look at today. This is about breaking down barriers and really being able to connect with each other. So that's what we're going to take a look at today. And then next week, we're going to take a look at deliverance. Deliverance is also connected to emotional intelligence. However, it connects willpower to emotional intelligence. What we're taking a look at today is we're taking a look at the energy resource and its connection to the emotional intelligence. So that's what we're taking a look at today. Also, just a couple of quick notes about today. It's interesting that what's there today is in the 40 in communication. Again, next week, we're going to take a look at deliverance, which is trait 40, which is the love of work, delivering what is promised. And so that is what you'll hear in communication currently as well. And then also, if we take a look at what we have on the other side, if you will, of the 59, is we have the 55, and the 55 is abundance through abundance through spirit. So it's really that emotional spirit, if you will. So again, if we take a look, we talked about this at the beginning with August, right? We're still taking a look at what is our truth. And we're also taking a look at, being able to share and speak and mutate when we're in the mood. So Leanne, I didn't know if there was anything that you would like to add. I know you're really great at taking a look at the weather report and what's happening and synthesizing it all. So I was wondering if there was anything else you would like to add, Leanne.
Basically, all I would say is just watch how this mutation might be showing up in how you achieve union, the mutation of awareness and the mutation of openness, and how that mutation is grounding you into your spirit.
Yeah.
Just watch what's going on. Yeah.
Yep. Exactly. Beautiful. Thank you, Leanne. And I think it brings up a good point too, like I would just mention with the 55, right? That is about spirit. And so if you see this in a sense, this is the 59 is also this deeper connection through spirit, right? This sort of connecting beyond. And that's what we're going to be taking a look at today. So let's dive in. And what I wanted to talk about first before we dive into the 59 is also to recognize it in the context of the transition that we are in. So this is what Tuck was talking about earlier. We are moving from the era of planning into the era of the individual. In the next 7 years, by 2027, we are in that process of major change, of major transition. And we're moving from the 40 to the 59, right? So we have this aloneness. It's about tribal support. It's the willpower that we were just talking about. This is also where communication is right now. And in the quality 1, it's about recuperation. This is the ability to relax and enjoy the fruits of one's labor. This is the love of work, but it's working alone, if you will, for the good of the tribe, working really hard and then resting. Whereas where we are moving to is we're moving towards achieving union. Again, it's still tribal support. It's connected to the energy resource, and we're moving into the quality 6, this temporary union. This is the power for intimacy regardless of conditions. So we're moving from this aloneness to achieving union. We're moving from this recuperation and this love of work to temporary union and the love of connection. And when we take a look at where this shows up, it shows up in the temple, which is also the body. This is what is good for you, what is good for you to feel good. So what it has been is working really, really hard and then resting. What it's moving towards, like I said, is achieving union and having really that love of connection. So I'd love to hear if any of you would like to add a little bit or see anything or anything comes up as we take a look at, again, this major transition that we're in, and you know, that difference between, you know, working alone for the good of the tribe and that moving into, in a sense, working towards achieving union, and that, you know, the difference of the love of work versus the love of connection. Is there anything that any of you would like to add?
Sure.
So, awfully silent.
Who said sure?
Just,
yeah, Natalie.
Yeah. Oh, did anyone else want to go? Okay, so sorry. Yeah, so I find it actually interesting that it's quality 6. That of course we go, you know, backwards with this. So temporary union. So it sounds a little bit not like a real union, but it is a real connection for the moment, right? That's the temporary union for the fruitfulness of the moment, regardless of the conditions, right? And then what I like about what we talk about a lot in when we talk about these shifting of the eras, I always pronounce it wrong. Is that instead of, you know, being just a number and working for the good of the whole, we actually go to, you know, really connecting, and from that, you know, doing work or creating or whatever, right? So it's wonderful how we go to from the fruits of one's labor, right, to the fruits of you know, really the creative connection, and from that. So yeah, fascinating.
Beautiful. Thank you, Natalie. Did you want to add something as well, Chris?
Yeah, I'll just jump in. Hopefully my internet is doing okay. One of the things that I'm noticing is that I'm seeing a lot more partnering. So a lot more collaboration, regardless of whether or not someone is an individual assimilation or independent assimilation or collaborative assimilation, as we talk about at BG5. I'm seeing a lot more inspiration and collaboration between people who are sort of like going from this place of like, I just want to work and do what I love and everything. Is sort of like, yeah, but how do I bring more people into it? And I noticed that for myself as well, even in my own programs, is that I have trait 40 and I'm very much, I love what I do. I love to work. And I'm also very aware that I'm much more into collaborating and working with others, even my clients as well. So that's something that I'm already seeing a trend in, and maybe some of you are also seeing that as well.
Yep, exactly. Exactly. And I think that's a really good point, especially for BG5, because one of the things that we really take a look at in BG5 is not just about the individual, but how do you work in partnership? How do you work in small groups? How do you work in larger groups? So that you can really make the contribution that you're here to make, and at the same time, do what you love and love what you do. Yeah, love it. Anything? Yeah, Tuck.
I was gonna, you know, the synchronicity of timing always fascinates me from the perspective that I remember hearing a couple of years ago, and we've said it as well, that the Gallup polls that spoke to the fact that 70%, 60 some odd percent of the people in the world weren't psychologically, emotionally, spiritually mentally connected to who it is that they were or what it was that they were doing, that they were seeking to be a part of something bigger than who they are. And the fact that we're moving into an era that's supporting the contribution to the whole, where I can show up and be my full self. And yet, I mean, it's fascinating to me to look at the group today, the brothers and brothers and sisters that are here today, that the universe, the world is already synchronistically coalescing things around us to make this true. All we got to do is just go with the flow. But it's fascinating to me that what Gallup said, it's bringing it into this new era in such a beautiful way based on these traits here as well, and the eras.
Yep, exactly. Exactly. Beautifully said, Tuck. Yes, Leanne.
What I would add here is that we moved in that global orchestrated directory into that first line in the 1960s. I think you've gone over this a lot. And what happened to our fiat currency is that it's no longer backed by gold. So there's no intrinsic value, none. It's worthless. But yet we've handed our power over to this non-intrinsic piece of paper. And what BG5 and human design says is, it's like, hold on a minute. You are the value. You hold the intrinsic value. Quit giving yourself away to a piece of paper that has no intrinsic value. And I think that's why you're seeing those connections, right? I think we're seeing that because now we're recognizing each other's value, not based off of, oh, I'm going to make money off of you. No, let's move humanity's consciousness to an expanded awareness based off of our own intrinsic value. That's what I see happening.
Yep. Yep. Really beautifully said, Leanne. Exactly. And with that, I want to continue with kind of taking a deeper look at this 59, because again, this 59 is that intimate connection, is that bonding, is that recognizing, just that, like Leanne was saying, what that intrinsic value is all about. And when we take a look at the 59 about achieving union, this is bonding and intimacy beyond words, right? So this is connecting beyond what we say. Right? It's more of taking a look at what, if we take a look at it from, the BG5 human design perspective, if we take a look at bonding and intimacy beyond words, it's really our design that is speaking. It is our design that is connecting. So this is the ability to break down barriers. This is the ability to achieve union. And this is the potential energy for a deep and fertile connection with others, resulting in a life-creating union. Now, that life-creating union can be many things. This is also sexuality as well. So it can be literally, the most creative thing that we can do is create a new human life. Right? It can be that, but it can also be, especially in the business world, creating a new business, right? Creating a new entity, bringing a new idea into being, right? It's that fertile connection that brings something new, into reality. So it's your ability to bond. Your ability to bond is experienced by others as warm, intimate, and a deeply felt connection. This is one of the traits that I have in my design. I think, Rob, you also have this in your design as well. It sounds like we have also several people here in our Zoom room that have it as well. So it is this warm, intimate, and deeply felt connection. Think of it. It is the energy resource connected directly to emotional intelligence, right? So it's warm, it's emotional, it can be deeply felt. And if you have this, you're not designed to bond with everybody, right? It's important to be very selective, right? It's kind of like you don't necessarily want to create children with everybody in the world, right? You want to be really specific in what you do there. So So again, it's really important to be selective. Again, not everyone is for you. And in OC16, this is one of the most powerful strengths within OC16. It's the investigator and it's the binder. It pulls everyone together for the good of the community, for the good of the tribe. Right now, we have the community in the 3740, which is about community, but this is also, in a sense, getting everybody, in a sense, the collective experience all on the same page, right? So that everyone can experience it together. This is one of the strengths that I have is the 59-6, and one of the ways that I use that, of course, is in my teaching as well, because through teaching I can get everybody involved. We kind of lose track of time, and all of a sudden 2 hours have gone by. This is part of what the 59-6 is all about. And again, taking a look here at the 59. So I would love to hear if anyone wants to, if there's anything in the Zoom room that anyone wants to read or share from there, or from our panel, if there's anything that you would like to add. How about for you, Rob, with having the 59?
So I was excited to talk about this today because professionally for me, it's been a magical week. So for those of you that don't know what I do, I'm in the staffing world, right? So I'm achieving unions all the time. Mm-hmm. And a lot of big things have happened for me this week that appear to be magical. For example, today I brought in a very large account who's going to be giving me like over 30 opportunities to fill positions with them.
Awesome. Tons
and tons of interviews have been scheduled this week. Tons and tons of candidates are being submitted to me by other recruiters that I work with for these positions. And you can just see all of this union, or at least the urge, right, to unite happening. Over the weekend, I took back over a former account that I have. So that's kind of a new union, or a reunion, if you will. Oh, and so, bringing on this account, just to play this out a little bit further, this big account, now within my network of 250 other desk running recruiters, I need to develop delivery unions with them so that they can give me the candidates that we need to support the client. So, yeah, it's real.
That's really exciting, Rob. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Right. And that's what you do as a recruiter, right? Is you create those unions, right? You find the right person for the right position, for the right job, right?
Totally.
So that's a part of what you do, is create those unions. Really great example. Thank you for sharing that, Rob.
Yeah. And then I guess the only other thing I want to add as well is the ability to break down barriers. And it's not like, I'm using Thor or Hulk type muscles to do it. It's just like you talked about, it's that energy, that warm intimacy that can permeate essentially anything. Right. Mm. And so, this happens with me all the time in my professional career. Why am I able to get into this account? Why am I able to get this star candidate for this role? And so on. So anyway, the breaking down barriers is real, but it's like Leanne said earlier, it's not of my doing per se, it's more of my just watching and allowing.
Yep, exactly. That's one thing that I found for myself too, is in having the 59, I do have it in the 6 that we just talked about earlier, this ability to, create really close, deep bonds, for the moment. I'm also, my public role is a 1-3, right? So it's bonds made and bonds broken. So I can really create, deep, intimate bonds, and this deep, intimate connection, for that moment, whatever that happens to be. So, yeah. Beautiful example, Rob. Thank you so much. Anything for you, Tak, Leanne, Chris, or Natalie?
Well, I can share a bit of their actually Linda and Terry have it also in the 59-4, both of them.
Oh, good.
So we'll talk about the fourth line quality next. But so Linda shares. She has the fourth line also in her public role, and the 59 4 is actually in the driving force, and she definitely feels driven to connect with people, to pull them together, and to find a way for people to see one another and to work together. So really speaks to, you know, what you all shared here as well. And then Terry shares, she always wants to have everyone come together as one and no conflict, going directly to peace and harmony. And actually Terry has it in her grounding balance. So it's her half birthday probably. And then I said to her, so that's interesting, you know, because the 59 has an emotional wave to it, and it's actually kind of this, you can either, if there is upset, you can either, you know, become upset and then, you know, it gets even wilder, or you can kind of soothe everything down and you know, tranquilize. So your emotions influence the group, right? So if you get more calm, then, you know, everybody gets calm. And then Linda shared, so where there is chaos around me, I am the one who brings a calming energy, helping people to see the other person's side of the story. I always find myself hosting social collaborations, network groups, and ways to connect people from different areas together. So really interesting.
Yeah, really beautiful. Yeah, thank you for sharing that. And speaking of the 4 of brotherhood and sisterhood, let's take a look at that as well. So if we take a look at quality 4, it is about brotherhood and sisterhood. Remember, quality 4 is the influencer. You know, so in the elevation, this is the power derived from non-sexual intimacy. This is the dropping of barriers to union to establish a universal union. Right. So it really is that feeling of brotherhood, sisterhood, that we're in it together, that we're working together, you know, for something bigger than ourselves, as we've mentioned earlier. The challenge is where the idea cannot restrain the sex drive, the intellectual understanding that is rarely put into action. Right. So it really is, you know, the difference between that connection and the brotherhood and sisterhood as well. So yeah, Natalie invited either Terry or Linda, if you'd like to speak about the 4th quality. We would love to hear from you as well, if you'd like to contribute. And I think, can we, and yeah, because we can allow you to talk if you'd like to.
Yeah, we can allow you to talk, but, you know, raise your hand if you want to. So
yeah.
Yeah, Linda, let's go. There we go. You can unmute yourself.
Hey, Linda.
Hi everyone.
Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, you're welcome. Yeah, I guess I've just seen this play out a lot in my life, where I'm always just trying to connect people and help other people see the other side of the story and really pull people together in ways that can be more collaborative and more harmonious.
Beautiful. And how do you see the brotherhood and sisterhood showing up specifically for you?
I see it all the time in, you know, even if I'm just in a social environment where I'm just always wanting to get people to work together as opposed to having conflict with one another.
Yeah. Beautiful.
Often feel like I'm a translator. Getting, you know, helping people to see the other side of the story so that they can go, oh, okay, I didn't realize we were actually speaking the same language, but we thought we were on opposite sides.
Yeah. Very nicely said. Thank you, Linda.
You're welcome.
Thank you for joining us. Yeah, it's great to hear from you.
Thank you.
Yay. Yeah. So Rob or Leanne or Tuck or Chris, anything that you'd like to add about this achieving union, this brotherhood, this sisterhood?
I don't got nothing.
I know. The only thought I have, I hear you, Leanne. I have trait 6. I do not have the 59, and so this one and traits. Well, actually, my my life theme is in the quarter of bonding. So it is for me, you know, inherently about bonding, but this not having the 59, it's just interesting. There's times where I feel like I need to overcompensate for that, the partnering. And so it's just interesting to me listening to, seeing where we're heading, feeling that, perceiving that, in my, in not having the 59, and being able to see it without having it, and understand how that's impacting business and life and relationships right now, just watching that.
Yeah. Thank you, Chris.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Chris brought up something that just prompted a thought for me. You know, if you look at my design, so as opposed to what Chris has, I have the 59 reaching for the 6, right? Mm. And that I am not defined emotionally, right? So I'm just wondering, like, how the interplay would work, right, between the fact that I have the emotional intelligence as a shadow and a distraction in my life, but then there's that urge to make union. You know, like, there's got to be probably some good things for me to take a look at there and study more, to become more intimate with, so that I can actually experience the wisdom that is there in the emotional intelligence.
Yeah.
A little bit deeper.
Yeah, really good point. And again, the emotional intelligence for you, Rob, too, is also where you're here to be wise as well, right? It can also be part of your profit potential as well, when it is not acting as the shadow and distraction, when you're really grounded in what your design is all about. Yeah, thank you for sharing that, Rob. Yes, Tuck.
You know, mine may go way completely off track. I don't have the 59. However, what has always resonated, like, deeply with me is the public role, my 5-1 public role, and how I do achieve union. You know, in hindsight, looking back at how I bonded with men, you know, to look at the words seducer, seduced, pursuer, pursued, it felt right, you know. And that's been my only connection to the 59 over these years, is understanding and totally identifying with how I do bond and achieve union based on that public role.
Yeah, and Tuck brings up a very good point. I didn't add it here to the presentation, but the different qualities within the 59 are also part of our public role. So it indicates how we are designed to connect with others. And so kind of an interesting and deeper aspect that we take a look at in the foundation course in semester 2. So yeah, thanks for bringing that up, Tuck.
I think I just told on myself.
I have the same thing, Tuck, as a 5-1. You know, same thing. Totally.
So it's interesting. What we have 3 5-1s and we have 3 1-3s.
Oh, ha ha ha! That's funny.
Lots of first lines here, huh? Oh, let's see. Can we research some more? What else can we learn and research
out here?
Yeah. Jeez.
Oh, fascinating.
That's funny.
Well, I wanted to bring up real quickly the life work of the 59. I have Chris Payne. I don't know if you are familiar with Chris Payne. He, in the new Star Trek movies, he played Captain Kirk, the young Captain Kirk. So the life work is evolve. This is also the Sleeping Phoenix as well, right? And the Sleeping Phoenix is about, in a sense, our evolution. This arising from the ashes as the Sleeping Phoenix. So you are a great fertile agent, busy making more to ensure the future. The need for intimacy in security and in bonding, right? So it's almost, again, in looking through, I saw several people who had this particular trait that you may recognize, but I didn't have their exact birth time, so I picked Chris Payne. So I don't know if any of you are familiar with him or can kind of see what the connection is, but I really loved him in the Star Trek movies and doing the young James Kirk. He played it really brilliantly, and again, that sort of sexiness behind it, and I really enjoy him as an actor. So anything anyone would like to add? Yeah.
I don't know him in acting, but how is he in the Wonder Woman? Is he a good?
I thought he was good. I thought he was good in Wonder Woman. Like I felt like there was a connection there. Like I could see that there was yeah, I could see that. Yeah. It's fun to go back, and it'll be fun to go watch it again and see.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. It's always fun to, again, kind of see who has, different particular traits, different people that are famous, that are well known, and kind of see what the connection is all about. All right.
I guess actually, if I might say something, if I'm just reflecting on the film right now, is that in that film, he is, there's that intimacy, there's the sexual tension between him and Wonder Woman, and yet there's also the bonding of wanting to kind of security, like creating that sense of security for her, and wanting to kind of make sure that she doesn't like get hurt by the not, and well, which is funny because she's totally kicking everyone's ass, but it's like it is too, but it's just, I don't know, I could kind of see that dynamic, how he just was that. It wasn't something that he had to, yes, it's part of the role that he was playing, but it was so natural, like it just was there. It was it showed up on the screen.
Yeah, exactly. And like I said, where I know him best is from the Star Trek, and that real connection of sort of this brotherhood and sisterhood, of making sure that his crew was really taken care of, that that he had this connection with everyone. And of course with Captain Kirk, there's always this sexual tension between him and the some leading lady as well. So found that very interesting. Well, yes, Rob, did you want to say something?
I was just going to say really quickly, imagine the use of BG5 in casting roles.
I know. I've thought of that.
Yeah.
And I think it happens naturally. I think it happens unconsciously, because people are looking for a particular character, right? They're looking for someone that fits this particular feel or look. Right. So oftentimes, right, people do get typecast, and they get typecast based on their type, right? Based on what their design is all about. Yeah, absolutely. I think it'd be fascinating to see that. Yeah. All right. And Linda was saying, I've noticed how the non-sexual intimacy is also important in achieving union. When the line is crossed, then it gets weird. Yeah.
It does
that's a really
get
good
weird.
point too.
It does get weird. And so one of the things I'd like to share is I have had clients who've talked about who've had this, they either have the full strength or just the 59, and have had people at work misconstrue, she was asking for it, or he was, and it's like, yeah, no, and it's the energy that's there. And so this is actually something I talk about with my clients a lot when it comes to intimacy and relationships and dynamics that can happen, whether it's in the workplace or at home or wherever, in dating, that, it's like, well, I wasn't giving them the wrong, I was, wearing certain, like very conservative, and I'd never gave them any indication. It's like, yeah, it's the energy that's there. It's not necessarily something that you did or said.
Yeah. I actually had a male client sharing about this, that people, that women feel like kind of, you want something from me, like his employees. He was actually a manager. Yeah.
Yep. And it's projected onto them. And that can be, it's really interesting. It can be very hurtful. I've had male clients too that had that same thing, and it was really difficult for them. So
yeah. Yeah, and Linda said it's happened to hers many times, and Terry says it's true for her as well. Yeah, really good point. Thank you guys for sharing that as well. Well, very cool. Again, well, I just wanted to once again remind you of the webinar tomorrow. So would love to invite you to join our webinar with Tuck in taking a look at the 5 ways to access your greatest gifts in this time of transition. As well as, again, if you want to get a free report or find out more about BG5 Live, again, you can go visit our website at bg5businessinstitute.com. And we have our classes coming up in September. And the deadline for the early pricing is September 1st. So that's coming up really quickly. I don't know where time is going. I can't believe it's almost September already. But would love to invite you to join one of our courses. So Tuck's going to be teaching the foundation course, and Natalie is going to be teaching the certification course, semester 1. And then we have continuation of a lot of our courses as well. So look forward to seeing you in September. All right, so let's wrap everything up. And what I'd like to hear from each of you on the panel is, what is a key takeaway, or what is something that each person should just pay attention to or watch, during the rest of this week when it comes to creating intimacy, when it comes to creating this connection?
Yeah. So if somebody gets on to you, don't feel flattered. It's just the energy. Oh no, sorry, that popped into my mind.
So one of the things that along those lines that I'll say is, there's going to be the energy to bond this week. So if you're looking for a hookup, go ahead, but don't get emotionally attached. And but also be aware, so that you might meet someone, but then give yourself the space, the emotional space, to get to know this person, because it's true, you can bond quickly with somebody, be seduced or seduce them quickly, and then you'll really want to see, is this someone that I want to hang with for a long period of time? Because it can be pretty potent energy.
Yeah. And this is not only personally, like Chris was saying, this is also professionally as well, right? Professionally, and taking a look at, what Rob's doing in recruiting, bringing companies and businesses together. If you're taking a look at creating a new business, right? And birthing a new business with a business partner, again, take that time to really see, remember, it's about being selective. Right? So you want to make sure, and it takes time, because remember, what it's pointing to is emotional intelligence. And remember, anything with emotional intelligence is going to take time, and where clarity comes is over time. So really, really good advice, Chris. Thank you very much. How about for you, Leanne?
Really the same thing that Chris has just reiterated. It's really just an awareness. If this isn't a part of your design, just be aware. What is coming to you? What does want to achieve union with you? Is it a business? Is it a new job? Is it a career? What is trying to come towards you? And the only way you're going to know if it's right is your decision-making strategy. Don't play the mind game. Drop in and be inside that decision-making strategy.
Yeah, beautifully said, Leanne. Thank you. And how about for you, Rob?
I think Leanne just put the icing on the cake. I don't know that I would have anything to add other than my earlier share. Of course, if any of you are trying to close any deals, I'm really hot this week, so give me a call and I can help.
Love it. And how about for you, Tuck?
I was going to piggyback on what Chris and Leanne have said with this announcement that I am a grandmother again today for the second time.
Yay!
And before class, I got really tickled, and I thought, well, I'm going to go look up the chart of the this is a scheduled C-section. So today was scheduled, and it's the second child, and it's a boy. The first one's a girl. So the Brotherhood, Sisterhood. And she actually has the entire channel 59.6. So what I got from today was much of what everybody said. It's all happening around me. When I'm aware and available to observe what's happening, that's going to build that sense of comfort and confidence in me to just put the pine straw in my mouth, row down the stream in the boat. So yeah, congratulations to me, but observation and awareness, same that you guys are.
Yes, and definitely congratulations to you. And I love that brotherhood, sisterhood. That is so beautiful. I love it. Yeah, so connection, and again, realize that this is part of the energy that we're moving towards as we move towards 2027, right? This energy, this connection, this union is part of, we're experiencing it this week, specifically. However, it is what we are moving towards as well. So really pay attention, just as everyone said, that awareness is really what is key. And ultimately, remember, it's connected to emotional intelligence. So take your time, right? And with that awareness, the more you can start to see and feel, what this connection, what this intimacy, which this bonding beyond words, what this is all about. So it has been our absolute pleasure. It's great to have such a great panel of brotherhood and sisterhood. Thank you for everyone who is attending with us live. Unfortunately, we weren't able to do Facebook Live, but we'll get it loaded up to Facebook once we get it posted. So thank you, everyone, and we will see you all next week when we'll take a look at trait 40, the love of work. All right, everyone. See you next week. Bye-bye.